Hey Scott, how you doing? Alright, let's try to get set up here. Excuse me. Hey Raz, hey Chris. I'm doing good. Nice beautiful day today. Got to enjoy the weather. Yeah, Chris, I've been seeing all the characters you've been posting. Are you doing just like a run of characters or something? Got to do her eyebrows. Hey John, what's up? Well, that's good, Chris. I'm looking forward to seeing the ones you do. I like them. They're really nice. That's two. Hey Iceman, how you been? That's good, Chris. It's good to, you know, spice it up and do everything you need to do. I like watching them. If I had money, I'd buy them all, but I don't, so at least I get to see what you're doing. I'm hanging in there, Iceman. Just plugging away. Got a lot of work done this week, which is good. 7 of 9 that I was working on last week is just about done. I'm almost finished up with that Wolverine. Gonna start getting that Killer Croc Jedi Sith Lord guy. Start painting him up soon. So I'm getting there. I also, Iceman, I also started up that bus that you converted for me. So I've been working on it. So it's gonna be a while before I finish it. It's kind of a personal late night thing, but it's getting there. So it worked out perfect. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way the bus was working, so it's a little bit at a time each night when I get a chance. Because I gotta mold it, cast it, paint it, all that stuff as well. Grilly? Thank you, I appreciate it. I think I got your email, I just haven't had a chance to go through everything. I try and do stuff on Sundays, so bear with me, because I've been getting a lot of requests lately. I'll be honest with you though, I'm not taking on any more new work until I catch up, and I have a lot to catch up on. But I'll take a look at it, and I'll just give you some feedback on it. Yeah, I try to get back to everyone I can. Sometimes they slip through the cracks because I get too many at one shot. But I try to do everything on Sundays because this way I can actually organize everything. Yeah, Iceman, you could do that. The problem is getting that foam. Yeah, you should, there's a place by me, well, it's up by my parents. It's like a foam packing place. And they actually have that foam, I think. But the problem what they told me is they don't always have it in stock. And sometimes it's hard to order it. I know the stuff you're talking about, because they have the black stuff and they also have the white stuff. Hey, what's up, Vigilante? Yeah, just kind of working on some random stuff still. Actually, just went to a packing place last week. That's it's about like a half hour from me, just to pick up bubble wrap and peanuts. Can't find anybody for a good price. Was it 8 cubic foot bag of packing peanuts? Used to be like 20, like $17, but this place is selling it now for like 22, which is still good, but they don't ship. Yeah, if you get it cheap, go ahead, do it, you know. The one place I used to go to, they said they don't get the peanuts anymore. They stopped collect. What they used to do is they would get stuff in the, because they're a packing plant, and they actually pack, like, you know, old artwork frames and like antique tables for shipping. They do all kinds of stuff. They used to collect the peanuts, but then I used to call them and they're like, we don't save the peanuts anymore. We're not. They said they were not allowed to, because the white peanuts that are not biodegradable, they're not allowed to keep those anymore. So they can only sell the biodegradable ones, and they don't get those. So I had to find another place. Because if you go to a UPS store, it's like I think they charge you like $70 a bag, something like that. It's insane. Yeah, I've seen those Instapack stuff. That's what they use for a lot of the computer cases. Alright, so I'm going to start painting her green. I'm thinking of doing a texture outfit, because I want to keep practicing it. And I think that might look kind of cool. Instead of just doing straight up, just spray green, I was thinking of making it look like a leather outfit, like I did with the Scarlet Witch and, forgot the other statue I did. thinking maybe do the outfit like a leatherish, and then the gloves and the boots something different. Maybe shiny or something. Just gotta make sure the black paint I put on there is dry enough. Good thing is I don't have to go too crazy masking the face perfect because the hair is going to be painted anyway. So anyone in chat follow comic books at all? Did anyone see the recent debacle with the Fallout 4 book? The C2E2, was it C2E2 convention? And I thought statue community had drama. Yeah, so supposedly that company made a facsimile edition, which is basically just a reprint, and then they added an acetate cover on it, and it was limited to 750. And then basically, like all the influencers got first dibs on all the books. So it was like a $75 book, but they sold like all of their stock to the influencers. The influencers ran to Whatnot, and they were selling them for like $200-300 a book. If you go on eBay right now, there's people bidding them up to like $28,000. I don't think these people are buying them, but I think just it's just funny that it's just so much craziness going on. And I was like, when the hell did comic books become like this? I mean, collecting in the 90s, all you had was foil covers, die cut covers, you know, hologram covers. But now you got 50 million different variants for one book, and now we got all this drama, or you know, around it. It's crazy. I don't know if you can hear it, my neighbor's next door rooster's going at it. Hey, what's up, the customizers? I'm doing good. Hanging in there. Working. Enjoying the nice weather. Hopefully you're doing well too. Yeah, I kind of saw that too, Grilly. That was kind of... I didn't see the video, but I saw somebody else reviewing the video. It's not a good look. You know, I'm all for people, you know, buying your book, you know, flipping it to make money. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But when the company gives all these influencers priority on the book, and not letting the fans that are waiting in line to get it, it's kind of eh. But don't get me wrong, the people in line are probably there to buy maybe 1, 2, or 3 copies, one for a friend, one to sell. I admit I've done it in the past too, but you know, if you're gonna make 750 of them, but you're gonna give out like 600 of them or 700 of them to influencers, it's kind of like, what's the point? Yeah, you're gonna get that no matter what. I remember going back to the New York Comic Con days where you would go over and get you get a exclusive toy or a exclusive comic, and then you go and put it up on eBay. You know, it happens, but I think the extent of the way they did it was crazy. That's good, Iceman. If that works for you, do it. Just don't go too crazy. Remember, sometimes just wrapping it up in some bubble wrap and good foam packing is just as good as, you know, making it super professional. But yeah, it just seems that this book made a huge impact on the community now. Because I didn't know any of this was going on until I was just going through YouTube, and all of a sudden, like, all these videos and stuff were coming up, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? Pretty crazy. So I'm going to stick to all my Golden Age, Silver Age stuff. Going to keep collecting all that stuff. None of this modern crap. Oh, I got you, Iceman. That makes sense. Yeah, I've been selling off all my collection. I'm getting rid of a lot of the '90s and late 2000s stuff. I just want to keep my Captain Marvels, my Flash, and the Power Girl stuff. Like all my X-Men stuff. Once that hype builds up for the movies, I'm selling all my X-Men stuff. Not that I have a lot. It's mostly '90s stuff anyway. But I'm actually going back collecting all the All-Star comics with Power Girl in them. I want to get a really nice... I'm almost done. I got a couple more graded copies to get, and I'm done with the run. I'm pretty happy with just kind of getting all that older stuff. What's up, Hellspawn? Yeah, glad it worked out for you. The Mecha Varnish stuff is amazing. Really, really good stuff. I tried a lot of other clear coats, and certain clear coats work, some don't, but that varnish stuff is phenomenal. Yeah, if the animated stuff kicks off X-Men really well, and I start to see a lot of the comic books selling well, I'm gonna get rid of my collection of X-Men. All I have is a box and a half, and it's mostly like Jim Lee X-Men 1 up to like, I don't know, 80s or something. And then I got a couple Uncanny, and then I got Extreme X-Men stuff. So, just not in love with it anymore. It's collecting dust. It's gotta go. Alright, we're going to do a base coat, and then I think we're gonna texture up the outfit. We're gonna give it a nice textured outfit. And make it look cool. Alright, so we got a couple different colors. So her outfit's kind of a brighter green. So I think I'm going to do a base coat and then texture a lighter texture on it with the color. So I'm thinking doing this base color. I might have to mix up some more, even though it's a little darker. But then I'll texture lighter onto it, and I think it'll look better. If she was a little bit more anime looking, if she was like kind of more of an anime character from those kits, but since she's sort of a little bit more realistic, I'm going to try to do a little bit leather look. I think it'll look better. So this color needs some more green in it. If I have any more. Or I could use, no, that's, I need a lighter color than that. I don't have a hell of a lot of greens. Oh, here we go. I think we're going to use this as a base color. I think this will work better. Panel lines and pin washing. I don't know what that is. I don't really do washes on my stuff, only because I try to keep it a little bit cleaner, I guess. I'm not a fan of doing washes, and then sometimes you get that color that sort of bleeds in the areas, and I'm not really a fan of sometimes what they do. I kind of just spray everything and blend it with the airbrush. I mean, there is companies that make washes. You can try these. These are Formula Privateer Formula P3, and they make these. They make a flesh wash. They have like brown ink, red ink. They're a little bit potent though, but the flesh wash works pretty well. And Citadel makes washes too, but I don't use them really. I know some people in the hobby, they use oil, like, you know, oil paint wash, and I know that that stuff actually does work pretty well, but I never used it. So sometimes these Citadels you can use right out of the bottle. This one seems pretty watery, so it might kind of work. So where does it go? So this arm. Now see, I just poured the Citadel right out of the bottle, and it's going on fairly well. So if your Citadel's sort of like not super thick. It just goes right through the airbrush. Her colors, so her other, so it's on the left leg. Red Hood. I'm not sure if that's that Patreon. You know what? I'll link it in chat. I subbed to a Patreon group that actually did a Power Girl sculpt. I'm not sure if they did a Red Hood, but you could sign up to their Patreon, and I think they have votes. For like a sculpt, so if you want to try to sign up or contact them, let me Alright, so that's the site I signed up. They just did a Power Girl last month, so I got the print. My friend is actually printing it out for me. I don't know, I don't think they have a red hood in their collection, but if you sign up, they have votes, from what I understand, and they might do a red hood down the line, and then you can print it out. But if you're looking to customize from scratch and you want to do that on your own, I guess you just got to go through like the 1/4 library of like Sideshow stuff. You know, they did a Taskmaster. They've done, you know, it depends on like what kind of look you're going for. Like a Deadpool might work. You'd have to do some customization off of Deadpool's. Just an idea. So we have greens, we have... Alright, so regular, just like Liquitex stuff, like this. You can use this for your statues. If you go on very heavy with it, it takes a little while to cure, but you can use it for base stuff like this. So we're gonna do like textured green, and then like the black will be like a black leather, and I think it should work out pretty well. Kind of like doing this lately with some of these outfits, just to kind of have a little bit more fun, just trying something different. So I've been doing all those pearlized and you know, latex outfits for so long. I just wanted to change it up a bit. Of course, trying to get into areas is a pain in the ass. Well, they did a bunch of Deadpool, so you don't have to worry about the OG Deadpool. They've done a couple new ones. Trying to think of other 1/4 statues that might work. You know, there is XM stuff, but those are pretty hard to come by. There's also that CG Trader site. I don't know if there's any red hoods on there. I'll link that in a second for you. Where is it? CG Trader. Here it is. So you could go through that site. Sometimes they have those characters you're looking for you could print out. Sometimes there's like blank male or female characters. It's kind of... I find that male characters are hard to customize because a lot of people ask me why. Because when you want to customize a character, like you either have Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, or Captain America, or Deadpool. There's really not a lot of other characters out there, maybe Joker. So it's kind of hard to make like a Flash, you know, like a Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, like the old versions. Because there's really no male bodies that cater to them because they're always, you know, it's either Wolverine, you know, it's always like a specific, it's kind of hard. Hey George, how's it going? So I always have trouble doing the male characters because it's, you know, if they don't look like Superman or Captain America, it's kind of hard to take the body. You know, I would love to make myself a Bart Allen Impulse, but there's no like teenage type of 1/4 scale statues out there, so I can't make them. So I'm trying to keep an eye out. If there's ever a statue that comes out, I'll make the character. It's going to be a pain in the ass to get between the legs on this, but try to make it work. Alright, we're gonna have to cut this a bit. It's too dull. Alright, so I can't really get in there too much, so we're gonna fudge it with a brush a bit. Not customizer. There's a couple people in chat that could probably print for you. Hey, what's up, Creative Collector? How are you? What's up, Raccoon? Yeah, there's a couple people in chat that could probably help you out. I know Raz posted a thing on his DeviantArt a while back with people that I think print. Alright, well if you got somebody, then hopefully it works out for you. Yeah, I like that trader site because they have a lot of stuff in there that I can use for customs. You know, I don't want to go full-blown 3D print yet, but it's good for, like, you know, if you need a hand or you need an add-on and you don't want to sculpt it, it's already there. Oh, okay, Raz, I forgot. Oh, okay. Alright, you're another country. I'm pretty sure you can find somebody out there, I would assume. You know. Or get one yourself, because it seems like everybody's getting 3D printers now. I'm gonna be one of the only ones that don't get one for ages. I know Iceman is always trying to push me to get one. I kind of like that. Got kind of like a cool, darker texture to her. Yeah, Iceman, I'm going to be doing all the stuff old school. And that's like Raz said, I don't want to go through all that learning curve. I want to be able to... When I want 3D printers to be to the point where you have the program on your computer or on the screen, you just you just use your fingers to like make the stuff larger or smaller, and you just hit print, and in like 5 seconds it prints. Because right now it takes forever. But for me, I don't want to deal with that crap. I'll just send it off to my friend and let him deal with it. It is. I like doing stuff traditional. It's fun, you know? I'm not saying 3D printing's bad. I just don't... I don't know. I just don't want to rely on it just yet. Oh, it'll get there, Iceman. Trust me. It'll get there. Give it time. Because I remember when inkjet printers came out, and it would take, like, a few hours to print something, and then laser printer came out, and I remember when we had a $30,000 laser printer at the office I was working at. It would take, like, friggin'... Oh, man, we would put that thing in there, and it would take, like, 6 hours to print a page. And then within like 3 years, the laser printer was printing stuff out in like 5 seconds. So you just gotta get the technology, you just gotta get there. Give it time. Okay, so since I used one thing about these paints here, Since I used these to paint this up, and I didn't use like a anything to like cure them faster, these paints sort of take a while to cure. And when I say a while, it's still a little tacky to my hand. But once they cure up, you know, like once they cure up, it's like, you know, they're really tough. But it just takes a while. So I don't like to rush this stuff, because if it's too damp and you start handling it, sometimes it could start peeling up on you. So what I like to do is tester's dull coat on this, and I'm going to go over to the other booth and show you. It sort of helps it dry faster, but it still stays tacky. So let's go over here. Alright, so as far as tester's dull coat, this stuff sort of helps stuff cure a little bit faster, but not much. So this stuff stays tacky, but if you hit it with this tester's dull coat, it kind of helps cure it up, but it's still not cured. Like by tomorrow, this stuff will be cured enough to go in and start doing the black stuff. But like I said, it's still to the point where if you kind of dig your fingernail into it, you can still scrape it a little bit. So it takes a little while. So what I like to do is give this stuff a coat of this tester's, and it'll help just kind of cure it up a bit. Give it a little bit of coating. It's not going to hurt the primer or anything. So it's a little bit shiny right now, but it'll dry up. And then after everything's said and done, after I do the black part too, what I'll do is I'll satin varnish the whole thing. So it'll be semi-shiny, but not super shiny. But this just helps kind of make it cure. And like I always tell people, don't rush your paint up. Don't sit there and be like, okay, I did the green, now I gotta do the black. You're better off just like waiting a day and then coming back to it, because nothing sucks more than scraping this and having to go back in and texture that area. But once we put the black onto it, the green will pop more, because right now it's not, it looks dark. But once you add like a black to it, it'll pop more. And it'll give it more of a, you know, leather outfit, I guess. But yeah, the Winsor Newton stuff, the Liquid stuff out of the bottle is not bad to use on your items. Just give it time to cure. You don't want to rush that stuff, so I'll kind of let this cure for a bit. I'm going to work on the black cat a little bit. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll do the black trim around the area, then I'll mask off all the green, and I'll do the same thing with the black next week. And then after that, kind of figure out how I'm going to do the boots and gloves, the pouch, and then the hair is just black. And then the belt as well. So I try to break it up too. Try not to do everything the same color in the same way. Change it up a little bit here and there. Because what I'll have to do is I'll have to sort of sand the belt down just a little bit, so we don't have that texture on there, so I can make that smoother. I never used a, so yeah, I know Vallejo has a matte varnish, and then there's Mecca. I'm not really sure the difference, but the reason why I buy the Mecca is because it comes in the bigger bottles at the store I go to. So I figure, what the hell, I'll just buy the bigger bottle. I gotta keep the boots on, get those The tester's dull coat really lingers. Well, I don't see the thing about scratch resistance for what the stacks use is if your paint is soft underneath of it, it's still gonna scratch. If your paint is rock hard and then you put the coat on, then it probably won't. But these are acrylic paint, so acrylic takes a while to really like harden and cure. So it doesn't happen like fast. Alright, so since April O'Neil is kind of like in limbo till I get those hands done, figured I'd at least get these arms on her. So when I did the Wonder Woman, I kind of hid the hands. So I'm going to hide the hands on these as well with the hair. So I'm going to give her a lot of hair on her. But I wanted to get the arms on it. So mix up a little bit of Aves. Kind of show you how I attach arms and then fix it up afterwards. Then what I think I'll do is maybe work on the rogue arms too. You know, I gotta turn the AC on. It's getting hot in here. It's that time of the day. No, it is. I'm getting to the point where I'm getting sick of looking at this at my shelf. So I gotta put a little extra time to get this done. Did I, damn it. I didn't. Alright, I forgot to Dremel this hole right here. I'll be right back. Thought I did it, but I didn't. Alright, so of course, as I Dremel into it, there's actually a metal rod in there. So they put a metal rod in here with this piece here, but we're going to keep it so I don't have to rip it out. Okay, so to attach arms like this, fairly easy, not too hard, but it's just kind of a step today and then another step another day. Like I said, I'm not really worried about the hand. I might even, this is going to get all kind of hidden. So I'm actually going to break these two fingers because it's, you won't even see them when I'm done. So I just snap those right off. And then what I'll do is I'll prime it and then I'll kind of buff it down and sand it, make it look nicer. And then, like, a lot of this is going to get hidden anyway from her hair. So I won't even see all this. But what I like to do is I like to sculpt it anyway as I go. Just in case that, say you do the hair, but you don't do a little section here. And you didn't do that, it would look weird. So it's always good to kind of keep sculpting in layers. So this piece has a rod there already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some eaves in here. Just got some dust in it. So grab a shitty brush. Any shitty brush. Some safety solvent. Kind of clean that up a bit. Throw some eaves in here. Always double check before you do it. See it squeezing out a bit. So I'll take this off. See, like, there's still a lot of Dremel dust in there from resin, so gotta try to clean that up as best as you can. So that's enough in there to kind of hold it. So take some glue, get your Insta set ready. So throw a bunch of glue around here and there. Make sure you get your Insta set. Squeeze that on. So you see all that glue that just squeezed around there? You can just kind of take that off. And then you get your Insta set. Squeeze that in there. I gotta get a better tool. I think these things don't work as well. Alright. Take some of our A's. And then when I get a chance, if I get into the garage someday, I'll sand this down and fine tune it. But at least it's going to be locked into place. The reason why I build more and then sand it down is to help lock it, because sometimes if you just try to make it perfect right away and then you go to sand it, it kind of falls off. So it's messy, but it'll get cleaned up. Now this one, so I just Dremeled this out earlier today, so it's got a lot of dust in there as well. Goes like that. Yeah, you should dive into a larger statue. I like the 1/4 scale, 1/5. Larger stuff than this is insane. It's a pain in the ass, but alright, so we have that, so let's get a rod. Now, you don't always have to get a super thick rod. A little thin one like this kind of is just fine. So since we don't have a lot of stuff, just throw some A's in here. This is just going to help it. See, because you know what it is you have a glued area here, then you have a broken area here. So if you try to seam all this up, it gets kind of messed up. So what I like to do is get all the pieces together and then go in the garage and Dremel all this out and then throw another lathe over it like this one and then fix it. It just makes it a little bit more sturdier than trying to just glue this on. When I first started doing this, I would be like, oh, I could just glue this back on and fix it. And then as I'm like dremeling this out and I'm moving it, the glue just kind of poof, pops right off. So if you have at least something holding it, it's a little bit easier. Especially if you manhandle the item. So just to double check, throw your rod in here, like so. Squeeze it onto there, make sure it's kind of working, and it's not, so we're going to have to sort of bend it. So it'll work pretty good. We got to just throw a little A's into a point. Throw a little bit more here. And now this is where it gets kind of messy, but it should work. So what I like to do is throw a bunch of glue around this, because it doesn't really matter. It's going to get all sanded down and tweaked anyway. Get your safety solvent. Make sure you got a nice chunk of it. Take this. Put this onto there where you need to, even though it's kind of squeezing all around the elbow area. Just line it up to where it needs to go. Just hit it with the safety solvent. Not the safety solvent, the Insta-Set. Try not to get it on your glue bottle too. Alright, so it's not perfect because it was cracked up anyway, but that's going to get seamed up. So you see how nasty it looks? So what I'll do next time is I'll go in the garage, and what I'll do is I'll sand a lot of this down, and then I rebuild it with the A's. I'll even Dremel into this crack here, and I'll rebuild that with A's, because I don't trust glue. I rather have A's in there holding something together. Glue always kind of scares me. Yeah, this is a polystone statue. I'm just never a fan of, like, you know, if you're putting a kit together, I know some people just put like a couple dabs of glue and they'll glue the arm on or something. I'd rather Dremel a hole into the whole area and put A's with a rod. I don't like just using glue for everything. I mean, if you want to, I could do this too, just to kind of help it. You know, you just throw a little bit of ease around this area. Anything to help bond it before you start really dremeling in there. Now that little hole here, so you see a little hole where I kind of hit that area? If you have a tool, if I can find something. I got this here, so the end of a needle. So kind of push some ease back in there, because it probably squeezed out a bit. But I'm going to Dremel into this area here. Sorry. I'm going to Dremel into this area here. And I'll probably fill in this stuff up in here too, because a little bit of an air pocket. I can fill some more now. And the only problem too is all that's Insta-set and crap on here. If you start like touching it and you get it on your hands, you start pulling up like the primer. It's kind of a pain. But also be careful of your Insta-set on the table, because if you put your glue bottle there, it will hit it and cure it. Alright, so let's work on the rogue arms too while I have all this set up. Alright, so if anyone remembers the story about the rogue, kind of tell it again. If you remember the rogue custom I did a while back, I did the custom, I sent it out to the client, he's in the armed forces, so about 2 months later, I never got a word from him because I figured he was out on deployment. What happened is some guy that I've done work for in the past sent me an email and said, hey, I just bought your rogue off of eBay, it's damaged, can you repair it? And I was like, yeah, let me know which rogue and we'll see what we can do. So he actually sent me the picture of the custom Bowen rogue I just sent out 2 months ago, and I was like, okay, I thought maybe the guy that I sent it to ran into some financial issues and he decided to sell it. He didn't. He never got it, so it got lost in the mail. So somebody must have gotten it and sold it on eBay, and then this guy bought it. So I told this guy, look, man, my client, this was for my client, blah blah blah. He never got it. It's a stolen item. Can you work with us? We'll try to get you your money so he can get the item back. We'll put in the claim. Never heard from him again. So I wound up never getting the item. We got a refund from the post office. And then this was done by somebody else. So a guy he knows was kind enough to give him this item, but wanted me to do some tweaks. So it's kind of a hell of a story. It's kind of shitty, but it's kind of what happened with the whole thing. So basically right now what I'm doing is tweaking the body up a bit, and he wanted the arms to kind of come down a little bit more. So we're going to put rods in there with some A's to kind of hold it in place. I just wish the guy that got the statue off eBay would have worked with us. We would have gave him his money back and we could have got the damaged one and I could have repaired it. But I'm doing a whole video on this and I kind of explain it in better detail. It just kind of sucks. So the idea is we'll put glue in there and we'll put glue here, and basically what we'll try to do is sort of create a skeleton of the arm where we want it, and then that should be a way, because he wants the arms to come down this time instead of like the way it was like this. So this is the way it was, so we're going to kind of bring it down a bit. Send me the artwork. Let me see if I can find the art. Where is it? Hold on, I'll post a picture in a second. Find this picture. Yeah, so I know I'm not at the best angle with this, but he wants to at least sort of capture that look, so kind of see what I can do. So let's get this rod sort of cut. So cut it here for right now. Yeah, so that's a little too long. A little too short. Bend the rod a bit, sort of like where the joint would be. So what we'll do is we'll take the glue, squeeze the glue into there, get our rod. Sort of hold it in place for a second. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to line up the way the arm would be. I'm not worried about the jacket or the elbow. Just trying to see how this Line up. Sort of like that. Like, fumes cure this real fast, so even if you don't hit it with the drop, the fumes do pretty well. So since we have the arm here, one of the good things too, if you glue this in here and you don't actually line up the arm correctly, you can sort of bend out the arm to where you need to. So we'll put a couple drops of glue in here. Put that like so. So by doing that, you kind of create the skeleton. So if you're careful, if you let it cure for a bit, you can still kind of bend this piece to get it where you want it to. And then from there, you can put aves in it and start rebuilding the arm. So we're going to do the same thing on this arm. Alright, that's good. That piece is pretty much where we need it to be. This arm seems to work a little bit easier. So get back a little bit on the camera. Kind of almost in that pose. This is going to have to be kind of reworked. I think this arm's going to come up a little bit more. This glow's got to be fixed. This arm looks pretty good. Maybe it's just got to come back a little bit. So after that step, take some of your aves. Now, even if I put the aves on here and tomorrow I don't like the angle, you could always Dremel around the rod area and you can bend it again. But you really just want to sort of get it secured while you can. Take some A's, throw that up in there. So I'm going to leave the elbow joint kind of thin for now, in case I need to bend it tomorrow. I just want to throw some extra stuff up here to lock it in place. So that's kind of where I'm gonna leave it until I see tomorrow if I like it or if I need to tweak anything. This arm's looking good. This one still I might have to tweak. Bring it up a little bit more. So that's actually pretty good on that arm, because then I could just build a jacket and wrinkles around that. So that'll work. So this arm here is still a little bit... I think it's the position of the hand that's bothering me. So I think what I need to do is, I might need to crack her hand and pull it, instead of this way, I'm going to have to pull it this way. I think the arm is okay. It's just a hand like this. I need to pull it in like that. So if we have our arm slightly extended, so arm is back, be more like this. Yeah, so I think what I need to do is I need to bend this hand. Just gotta... Oh, we're gonna fill it in a little bit more, that might help. Yeah, so the arm position feels okay. It's the wrist hand that doesn't feel right. So a lot of this is going to have to be reworked, and then the hand's going to have to be reworked. So we try and... Yeah, this whole area is going to be reworked, and then this hand's going to be pulled in. Yeah, because this little spot right here from the jackets is what's screwing me up. I think that'll work. Yeah, there's going to be just going to have to be a little bit tweaking in here. Once I get it tweaked out, though, it should work out pretty well. Hey, what's up, Jose? So the other thing too is what I've been doing with the base is anytime I have extra Aves or Magic Sculpt, I put lead weights down here. These are fishing lead weights, so this way it helps weigh it down. Because if you don't put any kind of weight here, she'll just go forward. But there's like, I think these are I don't know. It's probably like 2 pounds right now, maybe. So this is enough weight here. Once I put all the freeform air on it again and make the explosion, it ain't going anywhere. And then this time, when that guy sent me the damaged statue, it broke here. So this time I put a rod all the way up to here. So I got a rod as far as I could go on this one. We'll make a strong guy for you, Jose. We're doing a strong guy. We're going to do a strong guy with the biggest body and then the tiniest little legs possible. Yeah, so looking at her forward, I like the position now. It's just going to take a little, it's going to take a little rebuilding of the basic arm anatomy and then work out the jacket and bring the fist forward. That's what we're doing. Jose said he's making a strong guy for me. He's going to make a huge body, or like huge body and like little Lego legs, like really tiny Lego legs. That's what we're doing. Okay, so that's enough from Rogue now. We gotta let that cure, and then I gotta come back to that. Yep, that's the strong guy we need. The people demand a strong guy. Alright, so like I said, this is like the tester's dull coat makes this dry up pretty well. But one of the other things too is I was using chemicals from Sculpting. So I wouldn't come back to this and handle it, because sometimes even though you wash your hands, those chemicals are still there. So you don't want to press your luck. At least I don't press my luck with this stuff. But take some silly putty, and that'll help you pull off the old silly putty without digging your nails in there. Yeah, if you leave silly putty on an item and it's like a hot room and you walk away for 2 days, the silly putty will sag down, because if you put silly putty into a container, like, so you see how this silly putty is just all like smooth around the area? if you leave the silly putty like this, right, and you walk away, over time your silly putty will go down. But this silly putty doesn't really go like far. I mean, you know, this is like room temperature and it's fine. But if you get it into your hands and you get it like at body temperature, you know, and you really mush it around and you get it warmed up, it will like start to sag. But if it's like fairly colder, it doesn't sag as fast, but it will go. Now the other thing too about silly putty is I don't like to leave it on my items overnight, because as it sags, even though it doesn't stick to your paints, but it might be pulling down on your paint, it could ruin something you did. But this stuff does not. So the other thing too is, if you put a thin layer, like see how like I'm making this nice and thin, right? And then I put a nice thin layer on there, it should stay pretty well. If you take silly putty and you take a chunk of it like so, and you slap that on there, then yeah, that's going to sag over time because it's so heavy. So I like to try to make it nice and thin. If you really wanted to, you could get a rolling pin and you can roll it out, but just doing this is good enough to put around an item. You know? And then when you put it around the item, you see I could see some of the green here a little bit. That means it's just really, really thin. So you just want to kind of double up, make sure you don't, just in case. Yeah, but you see how I put the Tester's dull coat on here, and it's fairly dry to the touch already. You know, you can, if you really wanted to, and you were in a rush and you had to get this item out, you could go on and put your silly putty there, and you can start doing the other area, and it won't pull it up. But if you feel your item's tacky, like really, really tacky, don't mess with the silly putty on it. But you see how this is kind of like, there's a gap here, so by tomorrow morning, what we're like, if I wake up and come in the studio, this will probably all be sagged down like it is in here. I haven't touched this bottle in ages, and it's sunk all the way into the bottom. But yeah, so we're gonna get back onto her next week, right? Get back onto her next week. I think my camera's set up for. But so I gotta get the video up of her, but I pretty much almost finished her up. So she's pretty much almost ready to go. So I'm working on the base. So hopefully next week I'll have this video up of her. Pretty happy with the way she came out. Alright, that's why I'm cutting it short tonight, because I actually have to prep something for tomorrow. But I'm going to get that poll going for Harley Quinn on Sunday. So next Friday, I'm going to pull out all the stuff on the hat. I'm going to start picking out the Harley Quinn stuff and get that going. And we're also going to keep working on her. So sorry it's a short stream tonight, but I got some other stuff going on. Plus, I want to enjoy the night tonight. It's actually nice out. I want to go down to the bay. But thanks for stopping by, guys. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you next week.